إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Dear brothers and sisters, the lecture today is the second part of the lecture I've done in December regarding the fairy tales of Ahmad Raza Khan Al-Barailwi regarding Abdul Qadir Al-Jilani, and this is the second part. And in the first part, we have seen all the karamat and false karamat attributed to Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani by Ahmad Raza Khan, the founder of the Barailwi sect, in which he said that Ahmad Raza Khan said that Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani was there on the night of Mi'raj and he drank the milk of Aisha, na'udhu billah. And he also said that on the night of Mi'raj, the Prophet put his, when he climbed on Al-Buraq, the horse Al-Buraq, he put his feet on the neck of Abdul Qadir Jilani, and this is why the neck of Abdul Qadir Jilani is on the foot of is upon all the awliya of Allah, and then all the fairy tales related to it, and all the Sufis at that time. Then Abdul Qadir Jilani in his books, he never mentioned these miracles. It's a long time after people starting this. His contemporary scholars, they did not mention even some weird, strange stories of all the Sufis gathering in a majlis and all putting their head down to Abdul Qadir Jilani and accepting that his foot is on the neck of all the awliya. I mean, all these fairy tales which neither the Sheikh told nor any of his contemporary or students told. And then all the other powers he attributed to Abdul Qadir Jilani, like he will protect all his muridin, whoever invokes Abdul Qadir Jilani for help, Abdul Qadir Jilani will come and rescue him, and Abdul Qadir Jilani is protecting all his people. If one of them falls down on the floor, Abdul Qadir Jilani will come and rescue him, and all the other fairy tales that you see that attributed to Abdul Qadir Jilani. And we refuted all these false claims by quoting verses from the Quran and explanations of scholars that the karamat are only action of Allah, that Allah only can do, and He does it at the hands of His prophets. And sometimes Allah performs these karamat at the hand of awliya to protect them. So the second part of this lecture is going to be related to the knowledge of the unseen. What the Barailwi sect, the Raza Khani sect attribute to Abdul Qadir Jilani regarding to the knowledge of the unseen, and we're going to refute this from their own books. You see, from their own Tafsir, Khazan Al-Irfan of Naeemi Murabadi, who is called Sadr Fadil, he's one of the main students of Ahmad Raza Khan Barailwi. I have the English translation of Noor Al-Irfan of Ahmad Yaar Gujrati, who is one of the main Barailwi scholar. And then I even have Fatwa Rizviya of Ahmad Raza Khan Barailwi, in which he contradicts his own madhab. And also I have a biography of of the Prophet ﷺ, based on the writing of Ahmad Raza Khan, to show that this religion fabricated by the Barailwis contains so many contradictions that even from their own books they affirm powers to Abdul Qadir Jilani, and they are such knowledge to Abdul Qadir Jilani of the unseen that they denied the prophets knowing this. Like we will see in the lecture, they will deny Prophet Noor knowing the state of his son. They will deny Prophet Ibrahim when the angels came to him in human forms, he did not know in first hand they were angels. Like Prophet Musa, the incident between Musa alayhi salam and Al-Khidr, they will write in the Tafsir that Musa alayhi salam did not know why Al-Khidr did all the actions he did. And many other cases, and even Ahmad Raza Khan is going to say Umar, he made some fatwa, then he took them back. So basically there are firm powers to Abdul Qadir Jilani, and they deny prophets and Sahabah knowing these matters. So inshallah, the aim of our lecture is not to mock or ridicule, it's just to expose them that their doctrine, their creed is full of contradiction and it does not make any sense. So for the layman to know what Barailwism is, and for their own people to reflect upon their own creed, and maybe inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide them through these talks. So first of all, I would also like to recommend my recent book. These are Notion Hazima Fan of Sheikh Saleh al-Sheikh, which refutes all the claims of Muhammad ibn Alawi al-Maliki in the first volume regarding Tawassul and Tawhid al-Rububiyyah and Tawhid al-Uluhiyyah, and it explains in detail that the mushrik of Makkah did believe in Tawheed Rububiyyah, that Allah was the sole creator, the sole sustainer, but they would worship other idols as intercessors besides Allah, and in time of difficulty they would forget the others and only invoke Allah alone. So this is a refutation of Muhammad ibn Alawi al-Maliki, who is the main reference for the Barailwi sect. So I encourage the brother, inshallah, to buy this book and for themselves to know all the weak hadiths and also all the wrong kind of istidlalat. I mean, even for an authentic test, what the false interpretation of it. So inshallah, I mean, now we're going to start this talk, but in the previous lectures, I mentioned basically all these fairy tales were taken from the book Bahjatul Asrar of Shatnufi, even, I mean, the Salat al-Ghawsiyah, in which they make 11 steps towards Iraq and say, Ya Ghawsa Ghisni, and then the Salat Ghawsiyah. No one else, I mean, in any of the books of Fiqh Abdul Qadir Jilani mentions it. It is this Shatnufi who mentions it, and he was born around 150 years after Abdul Qadir Jilani. And I found some quotes of scholars regarding this person, who he was, because you see, all this it does not make any sense that the students and the contemporaries of Abdul Qadir Jilani, he himself did not mention drinking the milk of Aisha, being there on the night of Mi'raj. But these people, they are hundreds of years after, with wrong asanid, they bring these fairy tales and they establish this wrong creed. So this Shatnufi, I mean, this is the Urdu translation of Khunya Talibin, published by the Alul Hadith, you see, Hafiz Mubashir Hussain Lahori, and he wrote in the introduction that, I mean, he was born, I mean, there was a gap of around 150 years between Al-Shatnufi and Jilani, and then he quoted from Hafiz ibn Hajar that he wrote from Al-Kamal Jafar. Hafiz ibn Hajar quoted from Al-Kamal Jafar in his Durar al-Kamina, volume 3, page 142, that Al-Kamal Jafar said about the book Bahjatul Asrar of Al-Shatnufi. He said, ذكر فيه غرائب وعجائب وطعن الناس في كثير من حكايات وأسانيدها فيه. So he said that Al-Shatnufi mentioned in his book Bahjatul Asrar. I mean, Bahjatul Asrar is basically the first book gathering the so-called karamat of Abdul Qadir Jilani, of Shatnufi. And he said, you see, Ali ibn Yusuf al-Shatnufi, and Hafiz ibn Hajar quoted Kamal Jafar saying, he mentioned in it strange things, odd things, gharaib wa ajaib, and very strange things. And the people criticized it, fi kathir fi min hikayat. Lots of his stories were criticized by people, wa asanidihi fihi, and the chains of narration. You see, so not only the people, the scholars, they criticized the stories in them because they don't make any sense. You see, they're impossible matters. And as well, you see the asanid, because he narrates this one narrated from me, from this one, from this one, from this one, from this student of Abdul Qadir Jilani, that Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani said. Even these narrators, most of them are unknown people, and some of them are well-known weak or liars. So this is mentioned in Durar Kamina. Ibn al-Wardi, a great famous muhaddis, he wrote in his Tarikh, Inna fil Bahjati Umurun la tasihu. He wrote, this is quoted in Kashf az-Zunun, volume 1 of Haji Khalifa, page 257. So he quotes that Hafiz Ibn al-Wardi wrote in his Tarikh, Inna fil Bahja, in the book of Bahjatul Asrar, Umurun la tasihu, there are matters that are not correct, meaning they're false. Wa mubalaghat fi shan Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani la taliqu illa bi rububiyyah. And there are such exaggeration regarding the status of Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, which are not suitable except for rububiyyah, meaning except for the Lord, meaning for Allah. Meaning in this book, there are totally untrue matters and so much exaggeration that are not suitable for human beings, but only suitable for Allah. You see, such powers attributed, in this book. So this is another scholar, Ibn al-Wardi. And then Hafiz ibn Rajab, he wrote in his Al-Tabaqat, volume 1, page 293, قد جمع المقري أبو الحسن شتنوفي. You see, he mentioned the book that the Qari Abu al-Hasan Shatnufi gathered. In it, فيه من روايات عن المجهولين, meaning there are so many narrations from unknown people. And then he wrote إن الشتنوفي نفسه كان متهما فيما يحكيه في هذا الكتاب عينه. And he said even what Al-Shatnufi narrates on his, it's not only the narrators, even what Al-Shatnufi narrates in his book, he was accused, meaning by the scholars, what he narrates on his own in this book. So this is the status of this book, as described by the great scholars, Ibn Hajar quoting Sheikh Kamal al-Jafar, and then Ibn al-Wardi quoted by Kashf of Zunun of, and then Ibn Rajab writing this on his own. So this is the basis of the Barailwi made religion, and their house is weaker than the spider's web. That's what we have to realize, that to establish this creed and belief, they don't even take the books of Abdul Qadir Al-Jilani, because the Ghunya Talibin of Abdul Qadir Al-Jilani, it opposes their creed. You see, even they are Hanafi, they say that the actions are not part of Iman. Shah Abdul Qadir Al-Jilani and Ghunya Talibin say the actions are part of Iman, and Iman increases and decreases, contrary to the creed of the Barailwis and the Hanafis. So they don't take their own writings of Abdul Qadir Jilani, because basically it's Hanbali fiqh. You see, he writes about doing Raful Yadain, saying Amin loudly, and all the matters regarding the Hanbali fiqh. And even in his creed, what he said, this is the right creed about Allah being above the arsh, they don't take this from him. But they will take falsely attributed Salat Ghosiyah from him, which have been mentioned by people 150 years after with isnad of majhulin, and even what Shatnufi himself narrates, he was accused of lying in it. So this is the state of the Barailwis. You see, their business is based on all these fairy tales. They gather fairy tales, stories, dreams, false narration they attribute to saints, and they use the love of the Prophet ﷺ and the love of the saints to earn money and make businesses. You see, to sell their shoes of the Prophet Na'al and Sharifain, to sell this, to sell that. This is their business, you see. You see, come to the grave, give animals here, sacrifice your sheep here, give money to the youth here, he is present, he'll be protecting you. You see, all these fairy tales that Al-Shatnufi told, that you peer, wherever you fall down of the Qadr, and will save you, and you'll be guaranteed to go to paradise. All of this is for the layman, those who don't want to worship. You see, they want the easiness. Oh, I'll have protection, I'll have wealth. Oh, this, so I have to have a peer, and because I will belong to the sister of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, he will take care of me. So they teach, basically, this is that's like Christians selling paradise to people. They're absolving them of their sins. Like, if you follow this, you'll be safe, because your peer is gonna do istishfa in your graves. And the peer, he will answer Munkir and Nakir, all the question of the angels. So we have to understand this is the basis of these people. So now let's go to their quotes and show the contradiction of their own religion. In his Malfuz al-Sharif, Ahmad Raza Khan Barailwi. So first we're going to see what he attributes to Abdul Qadir Jilani in first place. So in volume 1, page 35-36, he attributes power to Abdul Qadir Jilani. He said, this is the English translation done by the Barailwi Barakat Raza publication, South Africa. He says, the illustrious son and descendant of the glorious Prophet ﷺ, and the true representative and inheritor of prophetic bounties, the great Ghaus Sheikh Sayyid Abdul Qadir Jilani, states, نظرت إلى بلاد الله جمعا كخردلة على حكم اتصال. I see all the cities of Allah, and I see a mustard seed in the center of my palm. Meaning, all the cities of Allah, all the lands, I see them like I see a mustard seed in the center of my hand. You see, and it is written ala hukm intisali. So Ahmad Raza Khan writes, this vision is not limited to a specific moment, meaning it is not a karamat like Allah made him see things far away by breaking the laws of nature, khalqul adat. But he says, but the word ittisali refers to continuity, meaning it is continuous. Abdul Qadir Jilani sees all the lands continuously, which means that he sees it continuously. The Grand Halls also states, Inna bubuatu aini fil lawhi mahfuz. You see, and this quote is attributed to the same book of Bahjatul Asrar of Imam Abul Hasan Nuruddin Shatnufi. So basically, they said that, but Abdul Qadir Jilani never said such, that the pupil of my eyes is set on the Lawh Mahfuz, on the preserved tablet. Then Ahmad Raza Khan writes, what is Lawh Mahfuz? Allah explains, وَكُلُّ صَغِيرٍ وَكَبِيرٍ مُسْتَطَرٍ. Every matter, small or great, is on record. Meaning everything, whether it is big or small, it is recorded in Lawh Mahfuz. Another ayah declares, وَمَا مِن دَابَةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا طَائِرٍ يَطِيرُ بِجَنَاحَيْهِ إِلَّا أُمَمٌ أَمْثَالُكُمْ مَا فَرَّطْنَا فِي الْكِتَابِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ ثُمَّ إِلَى رَبِّهِمْ تُحْشَرُونَ. So basically, there is not an animal that lives on the earth, nor a being that flies on its wings, but form part of communities like you. Nothing have we omitted from the book, and they shall be gathered to their Lord in the end. So this verse, which is in Surah Anam verse 38, it means there is no animal walking, or nor any bird flying, you see, except that is recorded in any book. So for them, Abdul Qadir Jilani has his eye set on the Lawh Mahfuz. He knows all the animals on the earth, all the birds. And then Ahmad Raza Khan writes, the Holy Quran further elaborates, وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ وَمَا تَسْقُطُ مِنْ وَرَقَةٍ إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا وَلَا حَبَّةٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْأَرْضِ وَلَا رَدْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. So he knows, meaning Allah knows whatever there is on the earth and in the sea. Not a leaf does fall, but with his knowledge. There is not a grain in the darkness or depths of the earth, nor anything fresh or dry, meaning green or withered, but it is inscribed in a record clear. So for them, in the Lawh Mahfuz, every leaf falling on the ground, it is recorded in it. So Abdul Qadir Jilani, he knows, he has the knowledge of every leaf falling in the ground. Ahmad Raza Khan writes, if this is the state of Lawh Mahfuz, which holds the record of every event from the first to the last day, the one who possesses this comprehensive knowledge will certainly have the knowledge of the entire universe. Meaning for them, Lawh Mahfuz has the detail from the first day of creation to the judgment day of every leaf falling from the trees. So for them, Abdul Qadir Jilani has a comprehensive knowledge of the entire universe. So this is stated in their own book. This is what they attribute to Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. Now, I mean, there's not only this book, but their fairy tales carry on. In this book, Al-Amn wal-Ula, which is translated into English by safety and greatness, for those who describe the chosen one as the eliminator of difficulty, a book written by Ahmad Raza Khan, and it is published by Maktaba Qadir, Bolton, UK. In this book, on page 184, we have other fairy tales attributed to Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. So basically it is said about the knowledge of Abdul Qadir Jilani. On page 184, the sun would not rise except after it greets Sayyiduna Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiallahu anhu. His eyes are fixed on the divine tablet. So Ahmad Raza Khan writes, O Muslim, O Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, rather we should say, O Ahl Bid'ah wa Quburiyah, let alone the sun and moon obeying his command, the sun does not rise till it sends salutation upon the vicegerent of the Prophet, his inheritor, his beloved Ghaus Saqalain, Ghaus Kaunain, Sayyiduna wa Maulana Imam Abu Muhammad Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiallahu anhu. So basically the sun does not rise till it sends salutation upon the Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. Okay. Imam Sayyidi Nuruddin Abul Hasan Ali Shatnufi, the same guy who was accused of, Ibn Rajab mentioned he was accused of having all these inventing stuff, and he was accused of having narrators, unknown, and about whom Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Asad Yafi Shafi said in his book Mirat al-Janan, he's a scholar, Imam Faqih, Alim Muqri. write in his renowned book Bahjatul Asrar. So you see, then he's going to mention all these, not Abu Muhammad. You see, this one said from this one, from this one. And then he's going to come to Sheikh Abul Qasim Umar ibn Masood and Abu Hafs, you see, Umar Kamim Matani. These two, they said, our Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiallahu anhu used to walk in the mid-air above the heads of the people present in the gathering. Okay, so he would fly. Okay. He would say that the sun would not rise except that it would greet me. The new year will appear to me and would tell me all that which was to happen in that year. The new week would come to me and tell me as to what will happen during that week. Also, the new day will come and do the same. So the new year, when it comes, it tells Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, oh, this year, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. The new week will come, he say, oh, in this week, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. And the new year will come, the new day will come and will tell him, oh, this will happen today, this, that, okay. I swear by the dignity of my Lord, all the goodness and badness are presented to me, and my eyes are fixed on the Lawh Mahfuz, the divine tablet. I'm always diving in the sea of knowledge of Allah and His mushahada. I'm your witness in the court of Allah Almighty, and I am the heir of the Prophet ﷺ and his inheritor in this world. So this is in the book Bahjatul Asrar. Okay. So first, why would the new year and the new week and the new day tell Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani what's going to happen if his eyes are already set on the Lawh Mahfuz, so he knows already what's going to happen up to Judgment Day? But okay, maybe he might forget, so maybe the new day and the new week needs to remind him, according to these fairy tales, but they don't make any sense, you see. You can tell them this to any Christian, he would be laughing. He would say, why are you blaming us to attribute divinity to Abdul Qadir Jilani? You are attributing the same to your saints, except that you don't call him God, but all the powers attributed to him are the same. So this is the day comes, tell me whatever's going to happen in it. The week, the day, he knows basically everything. Lawh Mahfuz, everything, big or small, continuously he knows everything. You see, nothing is hidden from Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. So now we have seen the creed, what they attributed to Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. Now we will expose its falsehood from their own books. You see, because I'm not going to quote a tafsir written in Arabic and then translated, oh, this is what is written in, because when you establish the hujjah from their own books, it is greater upon them. You see, if I bring Tafsir Qurtubi, Tafsir Jalalain in English, which I've done previously in some lectures, obviously, even translated by Aisha Bile and other Sufis, to establish the hujjah upon them, so they don't accuse me of mistranslating. But the greatest hujjah today is going to be established by their own books. You see, their own books in Urdu and English upon them. Because what they attributed to Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, it is denied about prophets, you see, who are greater than Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. So first of all, we're going to start with the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was the Khalilullah, you see, one of the great 5 prophets among the Ulul Azm, those of greater authority. So he was one of the most beloved prophets of Allah, who was ready to sacrifice his own son Ismail to Allah's command. And we know all of the attributes of Ibrahim and his closeness to Allah. So Ahmad Yaar Gujrati in his Tafsir, Volume 2, page 650, Volume 2, let me describe this book, because the book Noor Al-Irfan, it has been translated by Ziya Al-Quran publication, you see, in Karachi, and then there's an introduction by Muhammad Hussain Muqaddam, you see, Darul Pretoria. It has an introduction, and it had a list of hundreds, of scholars who praised this tafsir from around the world and emphasized and stressed upon the need to translate this tafsir into English. And there's so many from England, America, so many people who stress, you see, the importance of translating this into English. It's got 2-3 pages of their own scholars, you see. I'm not going to read them. It's going to take a long time from their own you can see the list. I mean, all the people who agreed on this book and insisted on them from Manchester, Derby, Luton, Salam Abdul Ghafoor Chishti, Sheffield, this one, I mean, Hafiz Abdul Ghafoor, Edinburgh, I mean, this one, Harrow, Hounslow, Derby. I mean, in everywhere from UK, you see there's like around 50 of them are sheikh from England who agree to it. There's a big list of the scholars from South Africa, like 50, 60. You see, they even have the Gamhol Sharif one who praised this book from Birmingham. You see, and they stress the importance and approve this book. You see, Hazrat Pir Saab Mufti Muhammad Abdullah Sai, founder of Golia Center, Birmingham, UK. So all these people from England, I mean, there's maybe 100 people who approved of this book. So you see, it's not a small book or isolated book from an unknown scholar. It has the greatest, I mean, hundreds of their own scholars and you see, head of Masajid and Islamic Center who acknowledged this book, praised this book, and said this book should be translated into English. So this is their own translation into English. They cannot even accuse us of mistranslating. So now let's see what they say about Prophet Ibrahim. So in volume 2, page 650, okay, it is the incident about the guests of Ibrahim. Basically, it's about the angels coming to Ibrahim and he did not recognize them. And so I'm going to read it, inshallah. It is in Surah Zariyah. So it is هل أتاك حديث ضيف إبراهيم المكرمين إذ دخلوا عليه فقالوا سلاما قال سلام قوم منكرون فراغ إلى أهله فجاء بعجل سمين فقربه إليهم قالوا ألا تأكلون فأوجس منهم خيفة قالوا لا تخف وبشروه بغلام عليم. So just these 5 verses. So, O beloved Prophet ﷺ, has the information of the honored guest of Ibrahim come to you? Okay. When they came to, this is the translation of the verse, you see. Has the information of the honored guest of Ibrahim come to you? And Mufti Ahmad Yaar wrote in Tafsir, there were a group of 10 or 12 angels who had come to Hazrat Ibrahim, on whom be peace, in form of guests. Okay. Then Allah said, when they, in English, I mean, when, as translated, when they came to him, they said salutations. He replied, salutations. They were the unknown people. So Mufti Ahmad Yaar Gujrati wrote, from this emerged 2 issues. Greeting is an ancient custom and was practiced in the followers of the Prophet. The one coming should greet those. The one coming should greet those who are sitting. The reply of the greeting should be extended by all or by one person from them. Here it is evident that everybody had extending the greeting. You see. Then he said note 27. He said in his heart, meaning Ibrahim said in his heart, that I'm not aware of them. You see, munkar, the word munkar, salamun qawmu munkarun, the word munkar here denotes stranger. You see, so Ahmad Gujrati says that Prophet Ibrahim said in his heart, I'm not aware of them. The word munkar here denotes stranger. It is for this reason that the angels of the grave are called munkar and nakir, because they are stranger to the corpse. So basically what he's, and then when Prophet Ibrahim brought them food and they refused to eat, he felt fear in his heart. Okay. Then he went to his household and brought a fat calf, roasted. Ahmad Gujrati wrote in explanation, this tells us that eating the meat of the cow is the practice of Hazrat Ibrahim, on whom be peace, and that this is the sunnah of prophets to entertain your guests, even if you do not know them. Okay, so you don't know who they are, but it is the sunnah to entertain them. And laid it before them and said, will you not eat? He conceived a fear on his mind on account of them. They said, do not be afraid, and gave him the good news of a birth of a knowledgeable son. You see? And he writes in Ahmad Gujrati, thus, it is possible that prophets may not recognize an angel. But this will only be when the angel had not come with a revelation. Otherwise, recognition is an important condition when he comes down with revelation, or else the revelation will be suspect. So basically, he's explaining the creed and what the creed of the Barailwi should be. The creed of which has been approved by hundreds of Barailwi scholars, including Mughal Sharif. I mean, this is amazing. So subhanallah. I mean, how Allah humiliates these people and show their own falsehood to them, but they don't read and ponder. Same time they read this creed, Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani knows everything. Same time they explain the prophets. Thus it is possible that prophets may not recognize an angel. Subhanallah. But this will only be when the angel comes with like a news of that he will have a son, Ishaq alayhi salam. But if he comes with a revelation with wahi, then obviously it is a condition for them that he should know. But when he comes like this, in a human form, it is possible that prophets may not recognize an angel. Subhanallah. And the eyes of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani is fixed on Lawh Mahfuz. The new day tells him whatever is going to happen tomorrow. But the new day doesn't tell Prophet Ibrahim that the angels that are going to come to him in human form are angels. They're not human. You should not bring food to them because they don't eat. And you need not to fear them because they're angels, you see. So, I mean, his eyes was not set on Lawh Mahfuz. He did not know every leaf that falls from the tree. Subhanallah. The greatest, the Khalil of Allah, among the greatest of the prophets, you see, they don't know that angels coming to them in forms of human are actually angels. They think that they're human. They bring food to them. They conceive fear. So for them it is possible that prophets may not recognize an angel. So this is the greatest gustahi. You see, that's the word gustah. Greatest revilement of prophets, you see. That you attribute power to Abdul Qadir Jilani and you say the greatest prophet of Allah, it is possible he does not recognize an angel. But Abdul Qadir Jilani has got his eyes set on the Lawh Mahfuz. You see, he has the knowledge of all the creation. All the cities, he sees them constantly. Subhanallah. So, I mean, we must dua. I mean, Allah opens the eyes of the layman. This is approved by hundreds of their own scholars, this tafsir. So, let's go next. Okay. Now, Musa alayhi salam was also one of the 5 prophets of Ulul Azm. So, Ahmad Al-Gujrati, in his first volume, it is in English, you see. So, page 951. Okay, he's explaining the incident that happened between Al-Khidr and Musa. So before he said on page 948, you see, he's saying about the verse when Al-Khidr alayhi salam in Surah Kaf said, قَالَ إِنَّكَ لَن تَسْتَطِيعَ مَعِيَ صَبْرًا. He said, you can never stay with me. And Ahmad Al-Gujrati wrote, from this we learn that Allah Almighty had bestowed knowledge of the unseen upon Hazrat Khidr. It is because of having this knowledge that he was able to tell Hazrat Musa that he would not be able to exercise patience, which is exactly what transpired. Whatever he said was not based on assumption or conjecture but on positive knowledge. And Khidr said, وَكَيْفَ تَصْبِرُ عَلَى مَا لَمْ تُحِطْ بِهِ خُبْرًا. And how will you keep patience over that which your knowledge encompasses not? Meaning, your knowledge does not encompasses these matters that are going to happen. How will you bear patience? So Ahmad Al-Gujrati writes, this tells us Sharia is a name given to outward knowledge, where tariqat is based on hidden knowledge and mystic secret. Hazrat Musa was the Imam of Sharia, but Hazrat Khidr was the expert of tariqat. Therefore, the works which Hazrat Khidr did outwardly seem to be against Sharia. So basically, he's explaining that the knowledge given to Khidr, Prophet Musa was not aware of it, because the knowledge given to Khidr was the knowledge of tariqah, while the knowledge given to Prophet Musa was the knowledge of Sharia. You see. And this is obviously false. Even Ahmad Raza Khan in his Malfuz Sharif, I had quoted before, he said all the scholars agreed that Al-Khidr was a prophet. You see. So their owner ala Hadrat, he says all the scholars agreed that Al-Khidr was a prophet. So, I mean, he didn't have a knowledge. He had by revelation some knowledge. that was not revealed to Musa, and Musa had by revelation other knowledge that he did not reveal to Al-Khidr. So all these fairy tales about that the tariqah, these are all done. You see, this is all speculation. But our point here is they agree that Prophet Musa did not know the matters. Then he carries on and he says on page 951, when Khidr said, قال هذا فراق بيني وبينك سأنبئك بتأويل ما لم تستطع عليه صبرا. When all doing all these events, and each time Prophet Musa was angry, why did you kill the boy? Why did you put a hole in the ship? Why did you make a wall after these people refused to give us food? So Khidr said, he said, this is the separation between me and you. Now I shall tell you the explanation of those things of which you could not have patience. And Ahmad Al-Gujrati writes, it means this is the time for separation. Your objection has become the cause of our separation. From this we learn that the religious guide and teacher should overlook one or two mistakes in the murid, okay, and student respective, okay. He made the story like Nazubillah Khizr was the peer and Musa alayhi salam, Nazubillah was the murid. So then he says, it means I will make you aware of the secret and wisdom behind these deeds, so that you would be able to go away fully satisfied. You see, so Ahmad Yaar said that Al-Khidr here is saying, I will make you aware of the secret and wisdom, meaning Prophet Musa did not know the secret and wisdom behind these deeds, so that you would be able to go away fully satisfied. Then he says, it would be remembered that Hazrat Musa, on whom be peace, had shown further desire to be under the tutelage of Hazrat Khidr, but did not put this into practice. Neither did he act upon this knowledge thereafter. The purpose of all of this was that Allah Almighty wanted to show Hazrat Musa that there are people who possesses greater knowledge than him. Okay. So Khidr alayhi salam is going to tell Prophet Musa the secret and wisdom behind these deeds. So Prophet Musa did not know these events. So Prophet Musa, by consequence, did not have his eye set on the Lawh Mahfuz. The new day did not come to him and tell, this is what is going to happen today. And he does not know the knowledge of whatever is going to happen, you see, from the first day to the last day up to the judgment day. So we let the Barailwis, ponder on these issues. And likewise, Al-Muradabadi, you see, Naeemi Al-Muradabadi, who is Muhammad Naeemi Muradabadi, who is called Sadr al-Afadil, main student of Ahmad Raza Khan. He wrote page 390 in Surah Kahf. He writes page 390. Okay. He writes in Surah Kahf, he writes, okay. So he's saying, okay, Hadith Sharif mein hai कि Hazrat Khidr alayhi salam ne Hazrat Musa alayhi salam से फरमाया कि एक इल्म अल्लाह ताला ने मुझको ऐसा अता फरमा है जो आप नहीं जानते, और एक इल्म आपको ऐसा अता फरमा है जो मैं नहीं जानता. Okay, so basically Naeemi is quoting the hadith, the well-known hadith, in which Khidr said to Musa alayhi salam that Allah has conferred to me bestowed upon me a knowledge which he did not bestow upon you, and he has given to you a knowledge that he has not given to me. So even, you see, when they say, oh, but what is denied here is the atai knowledge, the bestowed knowledge. They say what is denied in these verses is the zati knowledge, you see, ilm zati. What it means is on their own they didn't know, but Allah has given you atai knowledge, meaning the given knowledge is not denied. But here, what is denied is the given knowledge, because the hadith says, according to them, to themselves as well, that Allah has not given this knowledge to you, and Allah has given you knowledge that He has not given up to me. So what is being denied here is atai knowledge, and likewise before for Prophet Ibrahim. Prophet Ibrahim did not have atai knowledge, he was not conferred knowledge of everything, you see. He did not say, oh, on my own I don't know these matters, but Allah has given me the knowledge of everything. No, he did not know there were angels. So this instance, particular instance, showed that he only knew what Allah revealed him through revelation. What he didn't know by revelation, all the other matters up to judgment, a leaf falling from the sky, he didn't know Prophet Ibrahim. So what is being denied in all these cases is atai knowledge, given knowledge. These cases shows that Prophet Musa was not, Prophet Ibrahim was not given knowledge of that the angels would come in human forms, and Prophet Musa was not given knowledge. He was not conferred knowledge of these matters that Khidr knew. So it is the atai knowledge. You see, this confusion, it is only to confuse the layman, that when there are general ayat in the Quran negating knowledge of unseen to Prophet, they say, oh, it is the Zati knowledge, not the atai one. You see, they play a trick, but it's not very clever, because in these cases, it is the given knowledge which is denied, you see. Because they did not know, they did not have patience over it. They ask, why did you do this? Well, they were not given the knowledge. You see, we don't need too much sophistical, denial. They themselves, Prophet Ibrahim did not know there were angels. And they say Prophet Musa did not know the reality, and Prophet Khidr knew the reality. So this shows that what they attribute to prophets, to Abdul Qadir, is pure falsehood. You see, it amounts to making a new religion, which Allah did not authorize. Okay, now let's see the case of Dawud and Sulaiman, may peace be upon them, alayhim as-salam. In his own Tafsir, Ahmad Al-Gujrati, he wrote in the first volume, page 1041. So this leads us to Surah Al-Anbiya. He writes, you see, there was a dispute of two people. One of the sheep of one people went to break the field of the other. So Prophet Dawud gave a ruling, and then Prophet Sulaiman gave another ruling, and then Prophet Dawud accepted Prophet Sulaiman, claiming that this judgment was better. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَفَهَمْنَاهَا سُلَيْمَانَ وَكُلًّا آتَيْنَا حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. You see, and we made Sulaiman to understand the matter, you see, and bestowed to both of them government and knowledge, you see. So Ahmad Al-Gujrati explained, this case was decided by Hazrat Dawud, on whom be peace, by saying that the goats must be, the goats of the people who broke the barrier and destroyed the field of the other. So basically the judgment of Dawud was saying that the goats must be given to the owner of the land, because the value of this goat was equal to the crop devoured by them. So basically Prophet Dawud said that because you sheep have destroyed the crops of the other, so to repair it, the animals, the goats should be given to the owner of the lands who were destroyed, you see, to compensate, because they are approximately the same price. When the plaintiff and the defendant left there, Hazrat Sulaiman said, this is the explanation of Ahmad Gujrati. Hazrat Sulaiman, on whom be peace, said that there could be a simpler solution to this. Hazrat Dawud, whom be peace, told him, please do tell me about it. To this, Hazrat Sulaiman, on whom be peace, replied that the owner of the field should be given the goats conditionally, and the owner of the goats should cultivate his land. When the crop reaches that stage, when it had been devoured, the owner of the field should return the goats to the owner and take possession of the land. During this time, the owner of the field can make use of the milk, etc. of these goats. Hazrat Dawud peace gave the order according to it. So basically, after Prophet Dawud had said, look, he has destroyed your sheep with his goats, you take the goats to compensate your crops destroyed. Prophet Sulaiman said there's a better way to deal with it, and it is that because his goats have destroyed his field, he takes the goats for some time, use their milk and their wool and whatever, until the other ones repairs the field, make it cultivate, and when it is fully grown again, he takes his land back and he takes his goats back. You see, the owner of the goats who destroyed, he takes his goats back after. So this was the judgment given by the Suleiman, and this was the one accepted by Dawud. So basically, I mean, if both of them had knowledge of the unseen, they would have given the best judgment. And Allah said He gave the right understanding to the better understanding to Prophet Suleiman, you see. So Ahmad Al-Gujrati said, from this emerge a few issues, okay. Authoritative interpretation of Islamic law is fully justifiable, and those who have the capacity for it should do so. Meaning, it shows that Ijtihad is right and we should do Ijtihad. Okay, no problem, we should do Ijtihad. Prophets too are authoritative interpreters, meaning they're mujtahid as well, prophets. Because the order of both these prophets was based on authoritative interpretation and not through revelation. So he's saying the prophets can do ijtihad, and their judgment in this case was based on ijtihad and not upon wahi, revelation. Okay. Even if there is an error in the interpretation of a prophet, subhanallah. So if there is error in the interpretation of prophet, the possibility of such errors is far greater in the non-prophets. So he's acknowledging the prophets when they make ijtihad and judgments, they can make errors. The possibility of such error is far greater, but this possibility is greater in non-prophets, but in prophets it's still possible. Then he says, a mujtahid will not be regarded as sinful due to error of interpretation. Observe, Hazrat Dawud had erred in the interpretation but was not censored for it. Subhanallah. He's saying Prophet Dawud had erred. He made a mistake in the interpretation, but he was not censored for it. He was not criticized or blamed for his mistake in ijtihad. Subhanallah. Then one interpretation can cancel another interpretation, but the categorical order cannot be cut off from the interpretation. Okay. Then prophets do not stick to faulty interpretation, but Allah Almighty corrects this error. So he said, when in case of prophets, Allah corrects their wrong ijtihad. Okay. So basically, what he establishes that the Prophet Dawud would make a mistake in ijtihad, and Allah corrected his ijtihad. So how can they there at the same time say Shaykh Abdul Qadir Al-Jilani has his eyes set on Lawh Mahfuz, whatever is going to happen on Judgment Day is written into it, and he knows whatever is going to happen tomorrow. So basically Prophet Dawud should know tomorrow there's going to be these two people are going to come and I'm going to judge them, and I will make a mistake in ijtihad, and Prophet Sulaiman is going to correct me. So he should know these matters. You see, you see, this shows that the prophets did not possess the knowledge, you see, of everything. The knowledge, they were not bestowed the knowledge of everything. And it was possible for them, according to the Barailwi teachings, to make mistakes in ijtihad. But for Abdul Qadir Jilani, for them, he knows the unseen. He knows whatever is going to happen. He sees all the lens of Allah. Na'uzubillah. I mean, it does not make any sense, you see. It is not only ridiculous, but it is nonsensical. And the other one, Muradabadi, he said on page 425, he said the same, but just not to repeat, he said that their judgment were based upon ijtihad, so same as Ahmad Al-Gujrati. Okay. Now this is the case of the prophets. I mean, I've already mentioned the case of Prophet Noor. I'll mention it quickly here as well. The case of Prophet Noor, that in Surah Hud, you see, page 293 of his Tafsir, you see, Prophet Noor, after his son perished, he invoked Allah to guide his son. And Allah said to Prophet Noor, do not ask about what you have no knowledge. You see. قال يا نوح إنه ليس من أهلك إنه عمل غير صالح. You see. فلا تسألني ما ليس لك به علم. You see, do not ask me about things you have no knowledge of. You see, Al-Muradabadi, he wrote in his Tafsir, तो उसमें क्या हिकमत है? शेख अबू मंसूर मतुरिदी अलैहिस्सलाम ने फरमाया कि हज़रत नूह अलैहिस्सलाम का बेटा कनान मुनाफिक था और आपके सामने अपने आप को मोमिन जाहिर करता था. अगर वो अपना कुफर जाहिर कर देता तो आप अल्लाह ताला उसके नजात की दुआ ना करते. Okay, he quotes this from Madarik of Nasafi. So he's saying, what is the hikmah in it? What is the wisdom in it? He said, Sheikh Abu Mansur Maturidi, he said that Prophet Nuh's son Canaan was a hypocrite, munafiq. And he was manifesting Islam, you see, in front of Prophet Nuh. And if ever Prophet Nuh knew, if he had made his kufr apparent, he would not have asked Allah. So basically they're saying that Prophet Nuh alayhi salam did not know the hidden matter of Prophet, of his son's heart. He did not know his hidden belief. He only knew his apparent belief. He showed to his father that he was a mu'min, but Prophet Nuh did not know his internal matter. And if had it ever known it, he would never ask Allah for this. So this is what Naeemi Muradabadi ascribed to another prophet among Ulul Azam, one of the greatest prophet of Allah, that he did not know that his son was a hypocrite. That is why he asked Allah, because of his lack of knowledge. Now, so this is what they attribute to prophets in their books. And for Shaykh Abdul Al-Jilani, he has his eyes set on Mahfuz. The Prophet Nuh alayhi salam did not know while his son was manifesting Islam and was a hypocrite. Didn't he see in the Lawh Mahfuz that his son was a hypocrite? You see, didn't he know everything that is going to happen tomorrow? My son is going to be killed and I will ask Allah and I will be blamed for it. You see? So their religion does not make any sense at all, you see. They said the awliya know everything of the hearts of the people, even in their book Al-Ibris, which they have also inshallah another lecture we're going to see in their book Al-Ibris of Abdul Aziz Dabba, which they have translated into English. They write that in the assembly of the saints in Mount Hira, the Ghaus, the Qutabdal, all the saints sit down and they decide whatever is going to happen tomorrow. And they control the hearts of all the people in the universe, even the world of Raqqa, which is a major science fiction, I don't know what they're talking about, which is a world, the people living there, the hearts, they control they have tasarruf of the hearts of the people living there. You see, they control their hearts. And the people of the world of Raqqa cannot have a thought except that these people control it and decide about it. So for these people, the Ghaus that he is deciding about the hearts and the events that are to occur tomorrow in the book Ibris, which they have translated into, and they are selling, and Ahmad Raza Khan is praising this book in his Malfuz. He calls it Al-Ibris Sharif. So for them, the Ghaus, he controls the hearts of the people, and he decides what is going to happen tomorrow in his imaginary and fairy tale, fable of assembly of saints. The fairy tales never stop. The more you read, the more, you get amazed by the stupidity and silliness of their inventions. You always think you'll never see worse, but you always find, worse. Those people, may Allah guide them. So basically, Prophet Nuh did not know what his son's hidden matter was, but the Ghaus, Abdul, they decide, even the world of Raqqa, whatever thought come in the heart, they know it and they decide about it. Na'udhu billah. So we've done the prophets now. See, Prophet Ibrahim, Prophet Musa, Prophet Noor, Prophet Dawud and Sulaiman. Now, let's come to the Sahabah, because the Sahabah are superior to Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, and this is a matter agreed upon. In his volume 2 of his Tafsir, concerning the events of the Treaty of Al-Hudaybiyah, you see, the Bay'ah Ar-Ridwaan, when the Sahabah gave pledge of allegiance to the Prophet ﷺ under the tree, you see, there is something interesting in this story, and that is that the Prophet ﷺ sent Uthman to the people of Mecca, at that time that they were coming with the Muslims to just do Umrah and they will go back. They came with the intention of peace. But the mushrik of Mecca refused to let the Prophet ﷺ to perform Umrah, minor pilgrimage. But what happened is that there were rumors spread around, false rumors, that Uthman radiallahu anhu was martyred. You see, he was killed by the people of Mecca. So all the Sahabah were angry, and the Prophet ﷺ took Bay'ah from them to avenge the blood of Uthman. You see, in Allah says in Revelation, you see that He was pleased with them. You see, so in Surah Al-Fatih, speaking about this issue, Ahmad Al-Gujrati and Naeemi Murabadi, they both say that the Sahaba, they did not know basically that Prophet Uthman was alive, and they were very angry and upset hearing these rumors. So how could they be angry and upset hearing about the news of Uthman's martyrdom while in fact he was alive? How can you be angry about something which didn't happen? It means that they don't know what happened few miles away. So what about Abdul Jilani watching all the lands in his hand like a mustard seed continuously? The seven heavens and the earth and the world of Raqqa is controlled by the Ghaus, but the Sahaba, Umar, Abu Bakr, Ali, they did not know Uthman was not killed. Total nonsense. I mean, these people, may Allah guide them. I mean, I will just read to establish Hujjah on them, inshallah. So it is, we said in Surah Fath, it is volume 2, page 616. 616. Okay, so he's saying the oath of allegiance took place because the Holy Prophet ﷺ had sent Hazrat Uthman Ghani to Mecca, Makarama, as his envoy to the Quraysh to inform them that the believers had not come with the intention of waging war, but merely to perform the Umrah, and to give glad tidings to the poor and destitute who were forced to stay in Mecca that very soon Mecca Makarama will be conquered. Hazrat Uthman Ghani was chosen for the mission because many of the infidels there owed a debt of gratitude to him, and as such would not attack him. Thus Hazrat Uthman went to the leaders of the Quraysh. On hearing the proposal, they told Hazrat Uthman that the Holy Prophet ﷺ could only come to the following year. However, if Hazrat Uthman wished to make the tawaf of the Kaaba, he could do so. To this Hazrat Uthman replied, I will only make tawaf of the Holy Kaaba when I am accompanied by the Kaaba of my heart. Thus he did not perform the Umrah. In the meantime, a rumor spread among the believers that the infidels had martyred Hazrat Uthman. This news inflamed the believers. Seeing this high spirit among the believers, the Holy Prophet ﷺ took an oath of allegiance for them to fight to avenge Hazrat Uthman's murder. This oath was taken under an acacia tree, you see. So basically, a rumor spread among the believers that the infidels had martyred Hazrat Uthman. This news inflamed the believers, meaning they were angry, inflamed, enraged. One of the greatest companions of the Prophet, the one who married his two daughters, was killed by the mushrik of Mecca. He was a noble person. Okay. And the Prophet seeing the high spirit among the Prophet took an oath of allegiance from them to fight to avenge Hazrat Uthman's murder. So the Prophet took an oath that we should avenge Hazrat Uthman's murder, and this murder did not happen. So basically, they can only take such an oath because they did not know of what happens few miles away. You see, else what's the point of I'm going to make an oath, or I'm going to avenge Uthman, and he did not die. So this shows that the prophets only know from the unseen what they're being told, but they also agreed that the Sahabah were angered. You see, because Naeemi Murabadi, he's saying in his Tafsir, the prophets knew, but the Sahabah were angry, and basically they did not know. But okay, well, let's just leave the case of the Prophet. But the Sahaba, you agree in this Tafsir and in Muradabadi's Tafsir that they did not know. They got angry, and seeing the spirit, the Prophet took the oath of to avenge Uthman. You see. So the Sahaba were angry, they were upset. It means for them they did not know. Okay. Al-Muradabadi, he says the same on page 666. 666 of his Tafsir in Surah Fath. He said, but okay, so basically he's saying the same, that the Prophet he did not know. But what is interesting in this Tafsir, after, you see, he says you see in a verse coming after, you see, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the hikmah of them not attacking Mecca, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هم الذين كفروا وصدوكم عن المسجد الحرام والهدى معكوفا أن يبلغ محله ولولا رجال مؤمنون ونساء مؤمنات لم تعلموهم أن تطؤوه فتصيبكم منهم معرة بغير علم. You see, so Allah explained the knowledge of them not attacking the people of Mecca, and it is because if they were not ولولا رجال مؤمنون ونساء مؤمنات لم تعلموهم. You see, if they were not believers, men and women which you knew not, you see, and then you would attack them and kill them by mistake, بغير علم, then Allah would have allowed you. So basically explaining this, Muradabadi says in notes, Tum une panchante nahi, meaning you do not recognize them, these believers hidden, you see, you do not recognize them, tum une pehchante nahi. And he said, yani Musalman kafiron se mumtaz ho jate. So he said, if they were distinguished, then Allah would have allowed such. But the hikmah below Allah not allowing them to attack at this time, it is because they were hidden. Mu'min men and women, believers, tum unhe nahi pehchante, meaning they were not given knowledge of them. So this is according to them. I mean, at least they should acknowledge the Sahabah did not know them. And even in the biography, Sirat Mustafa Jani Rahmat, which is Ifadat Allah Hazrat Ahmad Raza Khan Brailwi, basically published by Markaz Ahle Sunnah Barakat Raza, you see, Gujarat, India. Okay, so it is written by Muhammad Isa Rizal Qadiri, but it is from the notes of Ahmad Raza Khan. When they mention as well the incident of Bay'ah Ar-Ridwaan, the author, Brailwi author, he says the same, that basically the Sahabah, you see, they did not know and they believed Rasul Sallallahu को जब ये खबर पहुंची तो आपने फरमाया कि उस्मान का खून का बदला लेना फर्ज है. He said when the Prophet Sallallahu heard the news about Uthman, he said that it is obligatory to take the revenge of his blood. आपने वो बोल के दरख्त के पीछे बैठ गए और सहाबा किराम ने फरमाया कि तू सब लोग मेरे हाथ पर उस बात की बैत करके आखिर दम तक हम लोग मेरे वफादार जान नसार रहेंगे. तमाम सहाबा ने निहायती लोलांगेश जोश और खरोश के साथ जान नशारी की अहद करते हुए रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से 10 मुबारक पर बैत की. You see, so basically he's explaining this, that I mean the Prophet ﷺ, when he heard this news, he said we should take the revenge for Uthman blood, and all the Sahaba took this this revenge. So and then he quotes from Ahmad Raza Khan. He quotes from you see, he has a quote of because in this book he quotes from Ahmad Raza Khan. So he quoted from Makhuz Hayat ala Hazrat Jild Awal, you see, from the writing of, you see, because after this event, Prophet Umar radiallahu anhu, he was a little bit upset because Prophet told that in a dream he saw them doing tawaf around the Kaaba, doing Umrah. But the Prophet said to him after that, indeed, I saw this in a dream, but this will be next year. You see, Allah didn't tell it will be this year. But Umar radiallahu anhu was a little bit upset and he asked the Prophet. So this incident is written by Hayat al-Azra Jild Awal by Ahmad Raza Khan. And he explained the discussion, you see. जब सुलह हुदैबिया हुआ मुसलमान का साल मक्का मुअज़्ज़मा जाने से बाज रखे गए, बिलखुसूस अमीर अल-मोमिनीन उमर फारूक आज़म रज़ियल्लाहु पर सख्त shock गुजरा, meaning he felt really upset by the believers not doing Umrah this year. हुजूर पर नूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को रब अज़्ज़ा व जल ने सफ़र हुदैबिया से पहले ख्वाब में दिखा था कि हुजूर मा सहाबा किराम मस्जिद हराम में भी अमन व अमान दाखिल होंगे और मनासिक हज फरमाएंगे. सहाबा का गुमान था कि उस ख्वाब की तस्दीक इसी सफ़र में वाक़ई होगी. So basically he's saying the Sahaba believed that this dream that the Prophet saw would be fulfilled that year. You see, so the Sahaba believed that what the Prophet saw in the dream would happen this year. You see, so the Sahaba believed, and obviously this would happen the next year. So what the Barailwi Ahmad Raza Khan is saying is the Sahaba had a belief, that they had an interpretation of this dream which was false. Basically, they did not know the Lawh Mahfuz. Their eyes were not set. The day did not come to them and tell them actually, oh, you won't be the week or the year or this year you won't be doing, but it's next year. But Abdul Qadir Jilani has the privilege, but not the Sahaba. They had the belief that they will do it this year. Okay. Sahaba का गुमान था कि ख्वाब की तस्दीक इसी सफर में वाक़ई होगी. जब उस साल की वापसी की ठहरी, अमीर अल-मोमिनीन फारूक आज़म रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु खिदमत अक़दस में हाज़िर होकर अर्ज़ किया. So now that Ahmad Raza Khan is telling the dialogue that happened between the Prophet and Umar radiallahu anhu. कि हम हक पर हमारे दुश्मन बातिल पर नहीं? Are we not upon the truth and our enemies upon batil? Prophet ज़रूर, yes, certainly. Umar said क्या हमारे शुहादत जन्नत में और उनके मक़तूलीन नार में नहीं? Are not our those killed our martyrs in paradise and they're killed in fire? Prophet said yes, certainly. And then Umar said फिर हम अपने दिन में दबती क्यों रखें? He said why should we be degraded in our religion? The Prophet said, मैं अल्लाह का रसूल हूँ और उसकी नाफरमानी ना करूँगा. I am Allah's messenger and I will not disobey him. और वो ज़रूर मेरी मदद फरमाएंगे, and he will certainly help me. Umar said, क्या हुजूर हमें खबर ना दी थी कि हम काबा मुअज़्ज़मा जाएंगे और तवाफ बजलाएंगे? And he said, did not Allah tell us that we will go to Kaaba and do its tawaf? And Prophet replied, हाँ खबर दी थी. क्या फरमा दिया था कि इसी साल? He said, yes, I was told that we would do this, but was I told that it would happen this year? And Umar said, no. तो ज़रूर काबा जाएंगे तवाफ बजलाएंगे. And the Prophet said to him, yes, you will certainly go to the Kaaba and do tawaf. And when then he said that the Prophet went to Umar went to Abu Bakr and asked the same questions, and he replied the same. He said, did Allah not tell us that we will do this? He said, yes, certainly Allah told it, but He did not tell you will do it this year. You see. So this is taken from Hayat al-Azhar al-Jilani. So Ahmad Raza Khan is saying that Umar did not know that they would not. That's why he was asking these questions to the Prophet ﷺ. But Abdul Jilani is supposed to know everything now, billah. So now we will just finish by fatwa. We had two fatwa, you see, with the Sahaba. You see, because they're attributing knowledge of the unseen to the knowledge of everything. You see, from the first day to the last day, you see. So basically, if someone has such a knowledge, he knows what the Prophet told, he knows, you see, in the Lawh Mahfuz it is written, the Prophet said such, you see. So you know the right fiqh. You know what is halal and what is haram, you see. You know all the fiqh, because you have seen in the Lawh Mahfuz it is written, you see. This is haram, this is halal, and Allah told the Prophet eating horse meat is haram, doing joining the prayer in travel is the right order, you see. Everything is written in Lawh Mahfuz. So Abdul Jilani, when he gives a fatwa, and his eyes is supposed, the Barailwi Hanafi should follow it. You see, they should declare whatever Abdul Jilani declared permissible, and in their own fiqh it's haram. You see, both cannot be true. You see, you see, there's two ways of doing azan or iqama. Both of them have been told by the Prophet ﷺ. But some matters among the fuqaha is told to be haram, the other says it's halal. You see. So both cannot be right. Abu Dhar Ghifari says it's haram to stock gold, and the other Sahabah they say no, you can stock gold and silver, but if you pay zakat on them, you won't be punished. So it means one of them is mistaken, you see. So basically it means when the Sahabah differed in matters of inheritance, and every student of knowledge or knows these different dimensions in book of fiqh, both cannot be right, you see. In one said the share of the person should go that much to the grandfather and not to the brothers, and the other said no, it should go half to the brother and half to the grandfather, in the case of someone who died only with the grandfather and brothers, no son, no wife, no children, no wife. So both of them, the Sahaba differing, they can not be both right. And especially when some of them say this is haram to do it, the other says it's permissible to eat it. The other says haram to do this trade, the other says no, it's permissible, the fuqaha. So basically they cannot reject the Barailwis, explain to us why they don't follow Abdul Jilani if he has this knowledge. And especially in fiqh, they write in 2 places in his Fatwa Rizviyah. I found that Ahmad Raza Khan writes that Umar made a mistake in Ijtihad in his fatwa, and then he took back his wrong fatwa. So if Umar had his eye, radiallahu anhu, has his eye set upon the Lawh Mahfuz, or the day would tell him tomorrow or the year, you're going to make this fatwa and you're going to take it back, you see, he would have known the knowledge of the unseen. So in volume 11, page 283, you see, they're like thieves caught in their lies and fairy tales, you see, because 283, you see, he's mentioning a case that happened at the time of Umar, you see. In volume 11, page 283, he said, Amir al-Mu'minin Umar Farooq एक बार खुतबा में मुगलत फिल मुहूर यानी हैसियत से ज़्यादा मेहर बांधने पर इनकार शदीद फरमाया. So once a day he was doing khutbah, he went angry of those who increase the level of the dowry. You see, the women who make too high dowries for the people. Okay. इनका हाजिरीन में से एक बीबी उठी आयत करीमा आते तुम इहदाहुन्ना क़िंतार तिलावत की जिसमें सोने का ढेर औरत के महर में मुकर्रर करना जायज़ फरमाया. You see, so basically he's saying that the woman stood up in the khutbah and she mentioned the verse, you see, that you can give a qintar. So she said you can, you see, basically there's no limit to it. तो फौरन अमीर al-Mu'minin ने इनकार से रुजू फरमाया. You see, and he said, hearing this woman standing and reciting this verse, Amir al-Mu'minin took back his fatwa. You see, he took back his objection to the woman. Out of wazu se farmaya, and he said out of humility, Allahumma kullu ahadin afqahu min Umar hatta al-mukhaddarat fil mahal. You see, Hey Umar, har ek se zyada faqih hai, yani ke jo parda aurtein bhi. He said, everyone, you see, is more faqih than you. Even this, those in veils, you see, the meaning the woman. So basically, he's out of humility. He said, "Oh, Umar, even the women are more faqih for you." He said this out of humility. But this means that Umar can give a fatwa, then he's been contradicted by a woman, and then he realizes his fatwa was wrong, and he takes it back. Okay. We have no problem in accepting this, but you have to explain to us how at the same time Abdul Qadir Jilani has his eyes set on Lawh Mahfuz. Likewise, on the topic of Mafqud al-Khabar, Mafqud al-Khabar is the woman whose husband disappears, she has no news. So basically for the Hanafis, like they should wait 70, 80 years, the lifespan of the husband's average life, and she cannot marry. After 70, 80 years, she should consider that her husband has died, and then she can marry someone else. But else she has to be waiting there. But Umar, he said no, after 4 years, if she does not hear, Umar radiallahu anhu, she can consider her husband as dead. He can be declared as dead by the Qadi, and she can marry someone else. And this is Imam Malik's fatwa, is based on Umar saying. So obviously the Hanafi fiqh is against it. So he's got a fatwa against saying that Hazrat Umar's fatwa is wrong for this, that reason. The other Sahabah, they said this, the other verse in the Quran, you see this and whatever, the Hanafi rules they have. And he said Hazrat Umar basically has no dalil for fixing the limit to 4 years. Okay, he has no dalil, Umar radiallahu anhu. But Abdul Qadir Jilani knows Lawh Mahfuz. He knows everything that is happened, what happened before from the first day. So obviously he knows what is right, what is wrong. But Umar can make a mistake in Ijtihad. Okay. So he's writing in volume 13, page 336, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Mawla Muslimin, Hazrat Sayyid Ali Murtaza, wa Kunyat al-Fuqaha Sayyid Hazrat Abdul Masud al-Riyalano, Humarit, he taraf hai. He said basically Amir al-Mu'mineen, you see Ali Murtaza and Abdul Masud, Hamari taraf hai, meaning they are upon the Hanafi mazhab. Rawahu Abdul Razak fi Musannifi, meaning Abdul Razak in his Musannaf reported narrations from them both. And he said, in the same book, it is said that Umar Farooq पहले कायल 4 साल के थे, बल्कि वो ही पहले कायल 4 साल के हुए बाद कौल हजरत अली की तरफ रुजू फरमाए. He said, it is narrated, basically what he's saying, that even Umar now, you see, after saying that Ali and Ibn Masud differed with Umar on this issue, he said that Umar Farooq Adam, he was first believe in 4 years, and then he made ruju of his fatwa, you see. And this is mentioned by, that Umar took back his fatwa, this is mentioned by the Faqih Ibn Abi Layla, you see. And this is mentioned in Fathul Qadir, you see, of Ibn al-Humam. Obviously, by the Faqih of Kufa Ibn Abi Layla, you see. So they even say that Umar took back his fatwa, which obviously he did not take back. That's why you see the Maliki Fuqa Imam Malik ibn Anas, he says 4 years. But according to them, even you see Umar Farooq took this fatwa back. So basically he did not have knowledge of the unseen. So basically they're saying that the Maliki only do taqlid of Imam of Umar radiallahu anhu, but he said even for them with this narration who's saying of Ibn Abi Layla without any isnad, according to this saying, even Umar took back his fatwa of 4 years. But what it tells us is Umar did make let's suppose he took it back, you see, which is not proven. This will show that Umar radiallahu anhu did not know what is Lawh Mahfuz, what is the right verdict. And he gave a judgment based upon Ijtihad and changed it. So in the same book, they say nothing is hidden in the heaven and the earth. In the same book, Al-Barailwi, they say actually the whole scope and Abdal, all this assembly, imaginary assembly, they decide whatever is going to happen tomorrow, even on the 7, the nebula of Raqqa. You see, I don't know what they're dreaming about, Star Trek or Star Wars. I don't know what kind of a science fiction or shaitan, the devils used to come to them to tell them the stories, shayateen, that even in these far planets, the people living there, their hearts cannot decide anything without this assembly of saints, Ghaus, Abdul Qadir Jilani and the others, they decide and they decide whatever is going to happen tomorrow. Okay, so in their Ibri Sharif, it is written they control everything and they decide what's going to happen. And on the other side, Omar does not know. He gives a wrong fatwa, takes it back in 2 cases. What kind of religion this is, subhanallah? This is pure falsehood. It is not only ridiculous. You see, sometimes we don't know, if we should laugh at their ridiculousness or we should cry at it, because at the end of the day, they're establishing shirk, you see. You see, people, This is shirk, you see. This is destroying the religion of Allah, destroying the religion with which He sent the Prophet ﷺ, and establishing a fairy tale, science fictional religion, you see. Now, the billah based on fairy tale, Shatnufi's books, with narrations of unknown people. This is their deen, you see, these people. That they establish Abdul Jilani as a divinity. He is the one who's deciding what is going to happen tomorrow. And at the same time, in their books, they said the Sahabah differed. The Sahabah made mistake of, even the prophets make mistake of Ijtihad. The prophets did not know his son's hypocrisy. The prophet did not know angels came to him. The prophet did not know all these matters. And I forgot to mention the story of Prophet Ezra, but it is hilarious. I mean, it is hilarious. I mean, we're going to finish by this. It is hilarious, Ahmad Al-Gujrati, what he wrote about Prophet Raza. He wrote in his volume 1, page 127. I mean, it is totally hilarious. Oh, this is volume 2. So, volume 1. Just to show the sheer stupidity. When they quote in Delhi, and they have to, you see, explain this in the Quran. You see in Surah Baqarah in the verse 259. You see, it is the story, I will just summarize it. You see about the man who passed by a town, English translation, and they say, it is Prophet Uzair. You see, oh, it is like him who passed by a town which had fallen into ruins. He said, how will Allah bring this to life after its death? So Allah caused him to die for 100 years, meaning this person who said, how Allah will bring back, he died for 100 years, then he revived him, meaning Allah revived him, and said, how long have you stayed here? He, Uzair, meaning Uzair according to Ahmad Al-Gujrati, replied, I've remained a full day or part of it. He, Allah told him, no, you stayed here for 100 years. Look at your food and your drink. They have not changed with time yet. Look at your donkey whose bones even are not safe, and will make you a symbol for mankind, and look at the bones, how we raise them, and then cover them with flesh. Then when this matter became clear to him, and he said, I know very well that Allah has the power of all things. Okay. And he said in note, Ahmad Al-Gujrati, this incident and the description is that of Hazrat Uzair alayhi salam, meaning a prophet of Allah. Okay. By place here is meant Baytul Maqdis, Jerusalem, which was put to ruins by King Bakhta Nasar. Hazrat Uzair was passing a place, traveling on an ass. He had in a container some grape juice as well as some piece of dates. He roamed in the entire city but did not find a single person. At that point in time, he uttered this word, and as soon as he got down from his ass, his soul was captured, meaning he died. Okay. So then he said the reason for stating this was to show that the condition in which they were, Allah had turned their attention from the affairs of the world. Okay. Otherwise, all the Prophet as well, pure sage, are not only fully aware of the world, but are involved in its happening. Okay. Then he says, while in the state of death, Allah at that point of time had made Hazrat Uzair totally inattentive about the world, you see. As the Holy Prophet was made inattentive on the night on which his Fajr Salah lapsed. Normally, the Holy Prophet was never unmindful, therefore his wuzu would never break down due to sleep. So basically, he's saying that this was particular to Prophet Uzair, that in his death, when he was there, he did not know. Else for them, as a general rule, Allah had turned their... Okay, it is Allah who turned their attention, else they know whatever is happening in the universe. Otherwise, all the Prophet as well as the pure sages, meaning the saints, are not fully aware of the world, but are involved in its happening, meaning for them, you see, like in a Libris, they decide of whatever is going to happen tomorrow, the saints. Okay. So he said, while in that state of death, Allah at that time had made Hazrat Uzair inattentive. Meaning, normally Prophet Uzair knows everything, Lawh Mahfuz did. But at that time, for these 100 years, Allah made him inattentive of what's happening during these 100 years. This is why when Allah asked him, he replied, I've remained a full day, or part of it. قَالَ لَبِثُّ يَوْمًا وَبَعْدَ يَوْمٍ. So Prophet Uzair gave a wrong answer. because he didn't know. But they say, oh, it doesn't mean that he doesn't know what happened in the world. Allah made him inattentive of such. Okay. Let's suppose Allah made him for 100 years inattentive during his death. He did not know what was happening in the seven heavens and earth. But when he came back to life, why didn't he look at the Lawh Mahfuz? You see, if Abdul Qadir Jilani can look and his eye is set on the Lawh Mahfuz, what stopped Prophet Uzair to look at Lawh Mahfuz at this time and to answer? You see, so when they make up lies, it creates more lies, and then they try to with some explanation, but their explanation does not. It doesn't remove the contradiction and the absurdity of their claims. You see, okay, maybe Allah made him forget these 100 years and inattentive, but why, when he woke up, he didn't look at the Lawh Mahfuz? So this shows it's totally a fabricated religion. And we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He guides us and He protects us from this religion. Inshallah, our aim is only to, show these proofs to the Brailwi layman, so inshallah Allah can guide them. And also for the laymen who don't know Brailwism, you see, they are aware of their fairy tales, so they stay far away from them. And we make dua that Allah guides us and them as well to the right path. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد آمين